The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a TIP VIP Friday. I got B. Strilla hanging out with me. We got Agustine Pimentel, the newest Green Bay Packers fan out there.
Yeah.
Mo Daddy got more head than he got body. Look at the size of that big old noggin he's got.
Hey, man.
All face. It was all face, man.
If Mr. Potato Head was wearing a hat, it would look just like Augustine, man. I ain't saying that because of the hat you're wearing. I'm saying it because you're wearing a hat. I have never seen, like, I get it. It feels like it's a small hat, too. So the dude you borrowed it from must be like a smaller person. But
what do you mean, dude? This is my hat. I've been, go Green Bay.
We already got some comments coming out. I told you it was going to happen this way, man. I looked at my phone yesterday. And whenever the trade happened, I said, Jesus Christ, I hate that I love this team. I had to work. I was doing a bunch of stuff. We got a rain delay in the bottom of the second inning. I look at my phone, and we're talking about maybe 45 minutes after the trade has happened, right? And I have already got 250 missed messages. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be one of those days. Look at the messages. Don't reply to everybody because I ain't going to do all that nonsense. The game ends. We go into extra innings. It's 11 o'clock at night whenever the game ends here in El Paso. And I look at my phone, and there's an additional 300 messages from people just asking me, you okay, bro? You good? I said this a couple of weeks. I think what I've done is, like, I've desensitized myself to the Dallas Cowboys and the nonsense they pull, that anything can happen. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm used to it. Abuse me as hard as you can, Daddy. Whoa, sorry. Well, that was a little bit too much. But my guy, Lawrence,
that was just the tip.
A little early for that one. Lawrence, what's up, Mike? You being down in Texas and possibly a Cowboys fan, I tuned in to hear your take on the Micah Parsons trade. Have a great day. Marquee mix.
Possibly.
And then, of course, our guy, Tommy Carranza, who has to be
my brother, Tommy.
Okay, so before I give my opinion, Strilla, what were your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark?
Good move for both sides, I guess. I mean, it doesn't register. I mean, I'm in the NFC. You know, my team's in the NFC North, so it doesn't make a difference to me. Like I was saying before, Micah Parsons is an excellent pass rusher. He is. He's one of the best out there. However, Green Bay, as a matter of fact, has taught you how to beat Micah Parsons. His weakness is the run game. He cannot stop the run too much. So if you run at him, that's over with that. So in a run-heavy division, maybe except for Chicago right now because of Ben Johnson, but in a run-heavy division, that's kind of But Dallas, I mean, I listened to Jerry Jones's press conference, all 40 minutes plus of it. He was. Let me tell you something. Jerry Jones can be petty, but he can cover the pettiness up with some smart dialect with the media. Like, when did you decide you were going to trade Micah Parsons? Well, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to – no, dude, you were being petty. It didn't work out for you. You threw a temper tantrum like your old 84 old ass did. You traded his ass to Green Bay because Green Bay was up to bat, and that's what happened. Don't tell me about, we had a trade. I mean, we had a sign in April. No, dude, you've done this to Dak and you've done this to CeeDee Lamb with both their agents. I mean, I don't, whatever the case may be, that's not how the real NFL works, okay? Not this day NFL. Your day NFL, maybe, yeah, but not today's NFL. At the same time, the dash of genius that I see in him, yes, he's trying to make Dallas Cowboys better because what does Dallas, what does their division basically do? Run. What are they having a problem stopping? To run. They can, and they got a pretty decent young defense, and then they just added a rock hard. That came out wrong.
Hey,
a rock solid guy in the middle. Okay, Tip is rubbing off. No, that was wrong too.
Well,
keep going one place to the other. I quit.
99%
Boss.
99% of the time it's me that does that. What the hell happened here?
You rubbed off on me.
B. Strilla Tipton. B. Strilla Tipton.
Okay, so
but
obviously, like Green Bay, now they're going to have an issue not having that big, solid, big, beefy man rocked hard in the middle. They're going to have the ability to be ran on, right? Augustine, I know you are here for the tears of Dallas Cowboys fans.
no, I'm here for my crying tears because of B. Strilla, what he said right now. but this changes, for me at least, the entire landscape. Because, I mean, for the Packers, it immediately puts them in contender status. Adding Micah Parsons to an already solid defense, it puts Green Bay into the Super Bowl or bust mode. Bye-bye, my Green Bay fans. Yes, go Green Bay. See, here at the Mandolin, we have Green Bay fans, and that's good. I mean, the Packers, their young defense and young offense led by Jordan Love, just shows promise right now. And the thing is, it just changes everything, but it also kind of switches thing around for Green Bay. Is this an identity shift for them? Is this, for decades they draft and develop. This is the first time I hear the Packers of, getting someone at this price point. And then for the Cowboys, I'm sorry, Tip, and this is just talent drain again for the Cowboys, just because of the contract standoff that like B. Strilla said, that Jerry Jones threw his temper tantrum. And one of the things is, fan fallout. The fans have been speaking hard and long about this. Then, I did it too. Sorry, B. But anyway,
It's catching.
but I mean, I haven't seen fans burning any cowboy shirts today or yesterday, but I feel for some cowboy fans that really like Michael Parsons and really, really like the team the way it was going. It was a building, but Micah was their best defensive player.
There's going to be a ton of people out there that are going to say that Michael Parsons was their best player, right? Like a lot of people have been out there with that narrative that he was their best player. I agree to some extent, right? But it's also weird for me to be in this area where I'm like, it feels like a nothing trade. Like, I know it's a huge name, it's a bunch of draft picks, it's things like that, but it feels like a nothing trade. It feels like both teams just moved laterally, right? Like Strilla said, you lose a great defensive presence in the middle of your defensive line if you're the Green Bay Packers. Now the Achilles heel the Dallas Cowboys had is your Achilles heel. Now teams are just going to run right down the middle at you. The Dallas Cowboys, they lose the most dynamic pass rusher we've seen in recent NFL memory, right? Like that's a huge thing to put out there, that they lost that guy. But the Dallas Cowboys were still going to be the second or third best team in the NFC East. The Packers were going to be the second or third best team in the NFC North. Maybe they closed the gap between them and Detroit, but Green Bay has to be in win now mode. They have 19 players who have their contracts expiring at the end of this year. Christian Watkins, Romeo Doubs, like there's a few guys here that they have to keep. That you're talking about that young, great offense. Those are two of their leading wide receivers that they're not going to be able to pay, because with what they're paying Micah Parsons right now, they enter next season $24.5 million over the cap. You have 19 guys you need to re-sign, and you have 3/4 of your payroll locked up in two dudes, in Jordan Love and in Micah Parsons. That is insane, man.
Tipton, it also resets the market for pass rushers. I mean,
I don't think so.
TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett going to charge now?
I think we've seen the peak. They're paying Micah Parsons $6.5 million more than they're paying TJ Watt, right? Like it normally you're used to seeing, okay, you got 41 million, we'll give you $41.1 million. And now you're the highest paid player. Like they're going with 47 million from that 41 million. And it's wild, man. Like, I don't think we're going to see a defensive player, especially an edge rusher, get to that number for a while. Like, I think that's the peak, right? Like going back to the Deshaun Watson thing of like, your quarterback is going to get this $232 million guaranteed. We're not seeing guarantees like that anymore, even at the quarterback position, right? Because there comes a place where you set that market. Now, I'm not saying that Parsons is going to wind up being like in the Deshaun Watson role where he just doesn't perform, because for all intents and purposes, he's going to perform. Minnesota's got a good offensive line. Chicago addressed their offensive line. It's going to be better this year. Detroit, I know there's questions there, but we can still say they've got a pretty solid offensive line. I don't feel like they need to necessarily double team someone else. Now you just double and triple team Micah Parsons. We were talking about it earlier. Rashawn Gary, ever since he got his deal, he hasn't really lived up to that deal. So it's going to be harder for Micah Parsons in Green Bay than it was previously. And if you've been paying attention as a Cowboys fan, he also doesn't play very well in the cold. Green Bay is a pretty fucking cold place.
Well, he played for Penn State,
I know he played for Penn State, but like in the recent times with the Cowboys in those cold weather games, he's been nowhere to be found.
Well, you got to
it might also be because those games evolve into run games.
Address the other issue he has too. He can't stop. He's not a very good run stopper either. He's like Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. Tommy Cananza is saying that he wishes that he wasn't driving right now. He joined the stream because he's so effing pissed right now at the Dallas Cowboys. Saying Parsons too, Mr. I don't play for money, giving him the middle finger here. He put up something yesterday that I thought was kind of weird where he's like, I finally get to retire my mom. My dude, you were made $21 million this year. How is that not enough to retire your mom?
Right. Amon St. Brown just retired his parents, and he's making way less money than he is. Jesus.
I mean, I'm with it. Again, the whole thing is make as much money while you can, when you can, right? These bodies get churned so fast in the NFL, and there's no guarantee that Micah Parsons is going to. And again, not wishing anything bad. I hope he has a phenomenal career, but there's no guarantee that he finishes out the whole 4 years because it's football, and football can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, retirement is hard as Monaco. You know, I mean, where are these players living now that they all of a sudden have to retire? And I'm going to retire my mom. Yeah, I only have $300 million in the bank. I don't have enough to retire my mom.
Hey, B, was it you that brought up the other day the replacements where he's like, do you know how hard it is to pay on a Ferrari?
Insurance on a Ferrari?
Yeah, I mean,
every time I hear this, that's what I think.
I mean, good for him, he got his bag, right? Like, I'm happy that he got his bag. I'm sad to see him go because as a Cowboys fan, like, I really thought they could build a defense around him. I saw the flaws, but I felt like they could do more, like if you built around him. On the flip side of this coin, the Dallas Cowboys are saving a shed ton of money. They've got
what was that?
A shed.
A shed ton. It's an actual phrase.
Shed ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, shed, and you put fill it with money. Shed ton of money.
Shed ton.
There you go. I'm sorry I had to explain it to you, Augustine.
Yeah, you're this guy.
Thanks, B.
Would you rather? Okay, you know what? I will not censor myself. They're saving a shit ton of money. The Dallas Cowboys are.
That's what Augustine wants to hear.
What they got now is a big, beefy, rock hard man to be in the middle of that defensive line, and along with that, they get 2 first-round draft picks. Now, of course, these aren't going to be like number 1 overall draft picks. These are going to be probably in the mid-20 draft picks, but it's draft capital for the Dallas Cowboys. And as we've seen, the Dallas Cowboys have drafted really well over the past, right? So if I'm trying to be, which is the lane that I've carved out for myself for somehow I have found my lane right here. They're being able to build for the future. I kind of like what they got in return. I wanted it to be more, but that's because I'm a selfish person, not just in real life, but in the bedroom as well. Like, damn it, I tried to get through that without laughing. But I wanted them to.
Do you know you sound like Jerry Jones? I mean, you just sound exactly what Jerry was saying yesterday. I mean,
I just need something in my cup, and then I could really be like,
yeah. I mean, this is my question to you, Tip. Are we under the Cowboys payroll and we don't know it? Are me and Big Strilla really, in the Cowboys? I feel like all of a sudden Brett Shammer is going to come, or what's his name? It's going to come in and go, hey, everybody, Cowboy Report coming up.
Well, I don't want you to be alarmed or anything like that, but there might be some sort of money being funneled over my way. I'm working on my Jerry Jones impersonation.
The New El Paso billionaire.
I hate that I love this team. Like, I genuinely do. Like, I'm trying to be optimistic, right? And again, like I feel like this year the Cowboys weren't a Super Bowl contending team. They're still not a Super Bowl contending team. The Green Bay Packers, to me, were not a Super Bowl contending team. I still don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team. I think whenever it devolves into a run game in the playoffs, we've seen this book before. Like it's going to be a replay for them. And I kind of like I said, it closes the gap between them and Detroit, but not enough. Not enough. Like, I still think Detroit is head and shoulders the best team of that division. Again, a weird thing to say. I don't think I would have ever said that before in my life.
Me either.
Trillo's like, I don't even know how to act.
Right.
Hey, there's a lot of things I didn't think Bistrilla was going to say, and that happened about 15 minutes ago. So this whole Micah Parsons trade thing, I think, and I think a lot of at least Cowboy fans, which are watching the Cowboy documentary, which by the way I binged, are kind of looking at this at a different way. You know,
Oh, Tommy.
Oh, poor Tommy. But they're looking at this. Some of them are like, we traded Herschel Walker before. We traded our best player before. And we got some great draft picks and some great players.
Yeah, Jerry Jones alluded to that in this conversation, too.
Yeah, but do you trust Jerry to make the right decisions?
I mean, you have to, right? Like we had just said, they've done some really good drafting, right? Like you got to remember, the Dallas Cowboys are not a team that's majorly in free agency. They're always a team that's building from within, drafting and developing players. They've been that way for a very long time. And you look at like just two guys that retired this year that are going to the Hall of Fame, and Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, right? Like Jerry Jones has hit very well getting Dak Prescott in the 4th round, getting, being able to finagle yourself where you had a trade where you were up to the number 4 overall pick to get like a guy like Zeke Elliott. They've done really well in the draft. Like there's a couple of questions. You can say Mozzie Smith, right? Like maybe that's not working out for the Cowboys right now, but 80% of the time they're hitting. So I think you gotta kind of lean on the fact that, yeah, the Cowboys have done really well building in the draft. They have draft capital now. They might be able to trade some of that draft capital, because I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. But if you were to go up to the worst team in the NFL and say, I'll give you 2 number 1 overall picks for your number 1 overall pick, and you draft in Arch Manning, you can have something.
Dallas should not draft Michigan players. Jordan Lewis was all right for you guys, but Mozzie Smith, hell no. Yeah. Who was the other guy that was on your Taco Charlton? Hell no.
Yeah. God, you brought up Taco. Jesus.
Taco.
Yeah, just stay the hell away from everyone from Michigan. How about that?
There you go.
I thought you guys were saying Trump always, anyway.
What?
Taco? You've never heard of that?
Oh.
Trump always
grab the taco, but I don't know about all that other stuff.
No, I just grabbed great breakfast.
I've been known to grab a taco too.
An American taco.
Trump would be the one to say that too. Like, I love the Mexicans. I love tacos.
Didn't he say that? Like, didn't he do something like a Trump?
I think he said something similar to that.
No, the funniest part was he went to the border once and started waving at everybody, and everybody was flipping him off, and he was saying, "Yeah, they love me. Yeah, they love you. Yeah, they did."
Yeah, you paint the border wall black because it's going to be harder to grab.
It's going to be harder in the sunshine. Okay, we'll just go over it in a nighttime. That's all. Duh.
He's going to paint it white at night.
Idiotic things, man. Trump is like the best comedic president we've ever had. The dude is hilarious. I mean, you can make jokes from here to, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. The dude is just hilarious. He's freaking hilarious.
The people that have to like be just on their knees genuflecting at this guy whenever he comes up with these dumbass ideas. You know what I think would be a great idea? Let's paint the wall black. Black's a dark color. It absorbs heat. And all these people. You're a genius, sir. Wow. Like, come on.
It feels that like that's Jerry's world too. But anyway.
Yeah, it does. You know what? It does. Jerry and Trump are encompassing the same place right now. They're both octogenarians. So they might as well just live it on up. So someone sent me a text. Someone sent me a text earlier before the show started. I was like, your team just needs to wait until that old MFer dies. I'm like, he'll never die. He will find a way. He will be Methuselah. He will never die.
Well, as much as the secret was kept in Detroit, that's what we were hoping for William Clay Ford.
Hey, I can just picture Jerry, in
That's
those
bad.
sci-fi. I can picture Jerry in those sci-fi movies, just as his brain and his
He's gonna be
his
cryogenically
cortex and
frozen.
all that. Exactly, and he's gonna be going like this. He's gonna be put into a RoboCop or something like that.
Jerry
And it
Jones
just
in an android body with Jerry Jones's brain and mind would be destroying the world. Like that's what Terminator would come back for.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I love this team. Like I said, like, I'm trying to be optimistic. I think I'm going to go through like the different stages of grief over the weekend, where it's like I can't believe they traded this guy, but it's a good trade. But they're going to suck it. Well, no, they'll be okay. I think I'm going to go through all that over this weekend. I think it's still too fresh of a wound for me to fully comprehend.
Well, there's one thing that I want to get your view on something, Mike, because there's one thing that Jerry Jones said that kind of perked my ears up. So he said you got 2 first-round picks. He said, don't be surprised if we make a change with one of those first-round picks or a couple, whatever, this year. We still can get somebody. Who the hell is he going to get with 2 first-round picks this year? Who do you think he might be targeting? I'm just be Jerry Jones for a minute.
How funny would it be?
More?
How funny would it be if he trades, if he winds up flipping a couple of those picks to Cincinnati for Trey Hendrickson? I could see him doing some bullshit like that. Or if I'm being my most diabolical, right? Like if I'm really encompassing what it is to be Jerry Jones, I'm becoming Jerry Jones, where I'm a borderline alcoholic with skin cancer. Like if I'm becoming that guy, Strilla, I'm going after your guy.
Aiden Hutchinson?
I am going after Aiden Hutchinson.
It ain't going to happen.
2 first-round picks?
It ain't going to happen.
Oh, man. That if I'm Jerry, but like I said, he can just float these things out now and try to get some stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some backroom deal done right now where we find out the Cowboys make a trade like tomorrow or something happens. I also wouldn't be surprised if they wait until the draft and get something major out of it, because now they've got a ton of assets and stuff like that they can go ahead and trade. Tommy, again, I wish I was there with you, Tommy. I just want to be going through this experience with you, because I feel like I'm not speaking correctly for every Cowboys fan, right? Like I probably should be more pissed off than what I am, but I've been beaten down by this team right now. Like that's all it is. I'm in a toxic relationship. I'm trying to find the good in them. They're gonna change one day, right? Like they'll treat me the way that they should treat me. Whenever they treated me nicely early on, they'll be back to that person again one day.
I love that. I hate this team.
Hey, what was Dallas's pass rush ranking versus their run rush ranking?
Let's look at
I think their pass was obviously was high. See, Green Bay's was 7th against the rush, and they only had 44 sacks last year. They were just above us in sacks. We had 37. But I mean, it helps Green Bay because now they can pressure the quarterback a lot better, and Parsons is absolutely the best guy to do that. But they're going to take away from their run defense. That's the thing that I don't understand about the whole. And you paid a lot of money for that.
Tommy's saying that I'm in the minority.
I mean, I'm looking at it like this too.
Yeah.
You know, people, every team in that division, maybe except for Chicago, is a Super Bowl contender. I mean, they all were in the they were all in the playoffs last year. For us, we failed miserably in that regard. But at the same time, they were all in the playoffs. So Green Bay's never out of contention of a Super Bowl. So Green Bay fans say,
and that's what I was about to say. Like, I feel like Green Bay fans are always like, they're the other team. If you talk about it, the Cowboys are always like, it's our year. I feel like Green Bay fans are also that team. Like, granted, they won in 2009? Is that when they won? But
they're really coming out now because the Lions have won a division twice, and
yeah.
they don't have a good record against them either. We're 4-1 against them in the last 5 games, or we're 5-1 against the last 6. So they're pissed off about that.
The Dallas Cowboys had the 17th ranked pass rush defense in the NFL and the 31st run defense in the NFL. So even with Micah Parsons, it was a middle of the road pass defense and a horrific. One team was worse. I got to find out who that team was, but one team was worse than the Dallas Cowboys stopping the run last year.
Cincinnati, I think, was the worst.
It has to be Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. By far, Cincinnati.
There was a part of me that was really hoping that the Cowboys would trade Micah Parsons to the Jacksonville Jaguars so that we could still root for him. I just wanted it to happen.
In England, the London Jaguars.
Yes. Everyone's favorite.
Something about the Cowboys' defensive struggles. 30th in yards allowed per carry, 31st in pre-contact yards allowed, and 32nd in rushing touchdowns allowed.
Who's that?
They were a turnstile on defense against the run last year. We spoke about this ad nauseum, right? Where it was like you could run on the Dallas Cowboys, and that's going to like that was their Achilles heel. They didn't have balance on the defensive line. I feel like now they might have a little more balance, but maybe that's just me being optimistic, right? Like you having, again, just a big, beefy man in the middle, clogging up the middle, rock hard and solid. You got that there for you now. That's going to help.
Like cholesterol.
That's going to help out.
Like just a tip.
Say that one more time, Strilla.
So it sounds like that's just a tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Visit myhappynuts.com. Check out the brand new Lawnmower 2.0. We spoke about this yesterday. If you got more hair than meat, you got to talk to God. But you can get rid of all that hair if you just use the Lawnmower 2.0, a new, stronger blade, all the smooth gliding you can handle. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code MikeTipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I can't believe I got through that without laughing.
Augustine's doing it for you. He's dying over there. I always love that video because of the that would make me feel uncomfortable. That's the first one. Then the pedophile near the end there saying, just a tip. Every time I hear that, I'm dying, dude. That is one of the best. If you would have used that as an intro, dude, that's 5 million viewers, right?
I just got to play the algorithm better.
Right.
Just a tip brought to you by the Epstein clan.
Sextels, man. Sextels.
Whoa. Jesus, guy. There's no list. Look away. There's no list.
Let's bomb Ukraine. Keep that out.
I have to send in the National Guard to Chicago. Nothing to see here. Relax.
Send the National Guard to El Paso.
Eventually. That's a whole different side. I will talk about that another time. Tommy Cadonza saying since 2021, the Cowboys were first in EPA per play with Parsons on the field and dead last without him. But they also had a really bad run defense with him. Right? I think that's what, in order to succeed in the NFL, It's about balance, right? Like you have to be able to run the ball and pass the ball. You have to be able to stop the run and get to the quarterback. You have to find that balance. And the Dallas Cowboys, as they were constituted yesterday, were not able to have that balance. I don't think they're going to get the sacks, but I like Odigizua. I like Dexter Fowler or Dante Fowler being there, right? Like I like some of these pieces the Dallas Cowboys have added to their team on the defensive line. Now bringing in Kenny Clark, it helps solidify that defensive line to where it's not just a pile of Swiss cheese that you could run through. Now they actually have somewhat of a defensive presence. Offensively, they're going to have a hard time running the ball, but I like the Dallas Cowboys offense right now. They're still, though, not a Super Bowl contending team, and they're still in the exact same position they were when they had Micah Parsons. They just now have more building blocks to be better in the post-Micah Parsons era.
So
I got an idea on a certain situation. What if Dallas was to give the Giants a first-round pick for Thibodeau? His contract is up.
Yeah. I don't think the Giants would do it just because it's in the division. Like it would be super interesting. Like if Kayvon Thibodeau was on the Dallas Cowboys and they wouldn't have to pay him near what Micah Parsons got paid, they'd be able to keep him at about 30 or so. Like that
Giants got a logjam at defensive line. I mean, they're going to be good with or without him because they got so many good defensive line players on there right now. So I mean, and Thibodeau doesn't really. I mean, he's put out his frustrations before with the Giants. So, could happen.
That's a great take and a great idea. I think you should be a general manager somewhere, B. But
nope.
Going back to what Tipton said about having balance and needing to have balance, I got some numbers for you right now. You know, often there have been offense heavy champions in the NFL. I mean, the one that I can think of right off the bat is the 99 St. Louis Rams. They had the number one offense. Granted, they had number 6 defense, but their defense was mostly, out of chance. And then New Orleans in 2009, they had the number 1 offense, the number 25 defense. And the 22 Kansas City Chiefs, they had the number 1 offense or the number 1 and the number 16 defense. Also, it also went both ways because if we remember correctly, the Baltimore Ravens had the number 1 defense and they had Trent Dilfer at quarterback, like many of you have said, has been the worst offense to win the Super Bowl. The 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 1 defense, number 18 offense. The Broncos of the 2015 Denver Broncos, number 1 defense, number 16 offense. I mean,
yeah, but again, like number 16, number 17, like those numbers aren't horrible. You're in the middle of the pack. You're talking about the best case the Dallas Cowboys had was the best thing that we could think of on their defensive line, right? That defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's talking about how great that pass rush was 17th in the NFL, 17th, anchored by the second to worst run defense in the NFL. So, like, even your average on that, like, they were just bad. Like, defensively, unobjectively, they were bad, like a bad defensive team. If you want to give yourself a chance, then you have to have some sort of identity on either end of the ball. And I feel like if the Dallas Cowboys have the 15th ranked defense and what we can see, because it's happened to the Cowboys a bunch of times in recent memory, a top 5 offense, I trust that a lot better than the Dallas Cowboys having the number 1 offense and the number 26 defense.
I mean, you got to look at it like this too. The times that the Dallas Cowboys recently, I don't think it's necessarily the players that they have on their team. It's the wrong choice of coaches. And I think, and especially playoffs, if you get beat like that by Green Bay in the playoffs after you were what year that you guys went 14-3? What was it? What was your record that year?
Are we talking just a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
12
when
and
you guys
5.
had a number one. How much? What was it
12 and
again?
5.
12-5. So you're 12-5. You were you number one in that division? Was who did you win the division that year?
Yes.
Okay, so Green Bay comes in there and just freaking rolls on you. That's coaching. I'm sorry. If you can be 12-5 for the whole season and not win the game, and really nothing, there's really none of the players played bad necessarily, but this is a continuance of what happens in the playoffs with Dallas in the last 3 to 4 years they've been in the playoffs in the first round. That's a coaching thing. I'm going to tell you what. We could play, time travel. If Jimmy Johnson was running that team, I'd guarantee you have a couple of Super Bowls, a couple of them right now.
Yeah. But
I mean, if Jimmy Johnson would have stayed since he got, fired, really, Dallas could have been the team of the 90s, the 2010s. Simple as that. It's simple as that.
Like I agree with that to a certain extent, right? Like I don't think
No. Here's to your certain extent. You're being a Jerry Jones, a pacifist or whatever. Let's call it by it really is. Jerry Jones wants all the credit, full credit for the Cowboys. The thing is, he's not the coach. He's not doing the decisions game day. And Jimmy Johnson was. So here's the thing. He should contract someone that does make the decisions on the field and quit messing with what happens on the field. Get the players you want. Granted, he's had like you've said, Tipton, he's had a great record of getting great talent in. But he can't manage that talent. It needs a strong, when Parcells was there, it was great. When Jimmy Johnson was there, it was great. At least Parcells, everybody respected the guy.
but they didn't win.
No, they didn't win, but they were competitive.
You're talking about a team like let's not like make it seem as if Parcells didn't have talent, right? Like he had Drew Bledsoe, he had Keyshawn Johnson. Like they had a really solid offensive line at the time. Like they might have been older, but they were still like there was a lot of talent on those Dallas Cowboys teams that Parcells had, man.
But that team, the whole Cowboy team, really, if you think about it, if Jimmy Johnson could have been the Tom Landry of the Cowboys. The way Jerry structures his team is perfect for Jimmy Johnson's type of coaching. It's that simple.
The problem with Jerry is he's got to leave his ego at the front door. He's got to be the owner and not the coach, the GM, and all that stuff. He can't have his hands on everything. He's got to trust that in a coach that's going to make decisions the right way for that team. If he got the players for that coach, this is where he's got to hold these coaches to high standards and quit letting them stay on a team for 5.5 years to 10 years because I can't really. This is the same thing William Clay Ford had a problem with. We're going to keep a coach on here for 20 years and he's just going to continue to lose. Dude, I like him though. It ain't about liking him. It's a business. You're trying to win Super Bowls. That's what every of the other 31 teams are trying to do, win a Super Bowl. At the end of the day, that's what's all that's important, okay? And if he gives you players to do that, then he should also be able to give that coach. Because none of the coaches there, they're yes men. They're yes men at Jerry. They're going to do anything Jerry tells them to do, and Jerry doesn't give them that much power in the first place. So you got to give them power.
I'm not slandering Bill Parcells, Tommy. I'm just saying, you're right. Like going from the Chan Gailey, Norv Turner, Dave Campo teams that were led, and finally getting in Bill Parcells, yes, to turn the Dallas Cowboys fortunes around in the early 2000s. And I agree with you all. Like I'm not arguing that Jerry Jones shouldn't just step aside and allow coaches to coach. I think I said it yesterday. Jerry Jones, the owner, would have fired Jerry Jones, the GM, if Jerry Jones wasn't the owner and the GM, right? Like that was something that would have happened a while back ago. But what I will say is, what my pushback is I don't think Jimmy Johnson's coaching style transitions to now with how the players are, right? Like you can't be as hard as Jimmy Johnson was. You saw that documentary. He was an asshole. You can't be that guy in today's NFL with these players anymore, right? Like look at the fact that they pushed out Belichick, the greatest coach of all time. They just pushed him out, and we're like, oh, this dude, like he can't coach in today's NFL. Now he's got to be on social media with Jordan, his beautiful 24-year-old girlfriend who's 50 years younger than he is, and like trying to
twist my arm to do that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like if Bill Belichick were to do that in the NFL, nobody's looking at him as like, oh, this guy's not an NFL coach. Like what the hell's up with this stuff, right? So he gets jettisoned out of North Carolina to do all this.
Hey, I understand everything you're saying, Tip, that today, but 90s, 2010s.
I don't. But that's the thing is, you're arguing with the ghost. I think everyone agrees with that. Like no one disagrees. But you can't go out and change history. It happened. They won their 3 Super Bowls. They did what they had to do, and they've been chasing that ghost ever since. Right? Like it's the LeBron James with Jordan thing. LeBron James will never catch up to Jordan because Jordan for us is God, right? Like he's chasing a ghost. He will never catch that ghost. The Dallas Cowboys are chasing that ghost of success that they had from 1992 to 1996, doing whatever it was that they wanted to do with a phenomenal team, right? I don't think that the credit should go to either Jerry or Jimmy or the players. They caught lightning in a bottle, and all of them let their egos destroy what could have been the most dominant franchise that anybody could have seen. All of them did that. Even going over to Jimmy Johnson, where Jerry Jones is trying to cheers him, and Jimmy's just sitting there like an asshole with his arms folded. And he doesn't even want to be like, oh, you know, yeah, we won the Super Bowl. Like, there was so much ego in both of those that I think if they could have done it over, they would change it. But they can't. And I don't think there's any argument there. Like, they both fucked up. We can say that flat out. Like, they both fucked up. Jimmy Johnson could have been better. Jerry Jones could have been better, but they weren't. So there's nothing that we can say, man.
I mean, how good was that team when Barry Switzer is a Super Bowl coaching champion?
Like I said, I don't know if it was on this show. It might have been another show that I was doing. I did so many shows over the last couple of weeks, but
excuse us.
I was talking about the book that Jeff Pearlman wrote about the Dallas Cowboys. I can't remember the title of the book to save my life right now, but he writes in the book that Barry Switzer, the night before the Super Bowl, was out partying with the players and just living up his life. And they're like, shouldn't you be like in bed coaching? He's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get here again. So I'm going to live this moment up, guys. Like,
I think that'd be Dan Campbell.
That's
we got in the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell be out there just chugging beers, dude.
And I would be there with
fucks. I know that's right. Anybody I want to party with, that'd be the guy right there. I don't even talk about Tommy. I don't even talk about Bill Belichick in his 20 years in the Super Bowls. Okay, let's be real. If it wasn't for Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady, he was the defensive guru of that team. Bill Belichick. I'm gonna give him credit for that. But as a head coach, he just let everybody do their thing. Tom Brady and the offensive coordinator got him to them Super Bowls. Notice. When Tom Brady got off them, what happened to the Patriots? When Josh wasn't there, when Tom Brady wasn't there, what happened to the Patriots? They barely scratched in to make a playoff. Then they weren't in the playoffs for a while. So, you know, this is like their best chance this year to even get into playoffs because they got Mike Vrabel. He's the dude. I like him. He's a good coach. And they got Josh back. So damn.
And I think that's the thing that like I get tired of hearing, right? And I think it's contrived, like people just make it up out of nowhere. Who gets the credit for what? They lasted for 20 years together, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. They did it together. It shouldn't just be, oh, it was Tom. Now Tom obviously winning with Tampa Bay makes it really look like it was Tom. But they had
with some amazing talent in Tampa Bay, though.
Yeah, and but that's also the thing, right? Like Tampa Bay was just like, we know what we need. We need anybody other than Jameis Winston. So let's bring in the greatest quarterback of all time, and look how quick they won a Super Bowl,
Not
right?
30 and 30.
That was the year that he did the 30 for 30 for 5,000, right? Like, Jesus, man. I love Jameis Winston, but they could have had him as a backup.
Yeah, they could.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom Brady. I tell you what. The reason why I think Tom Brady is a GOAT, not because of his accolades and getting into so many Super Bowls, the fact he's a leader. The dude went to Tampa Bay, and the first thing he's looked at was that offensive line. He said, ho, wait a minute. We got to get some better offensive line on here. I'm too damn old to be getting crushed by some, 23-year-old defensive ends. I'm not having that. Nope. Get me some offensive lines. I will take a pay cut if it gives me pay later on. I don't give a damn. Give me an offensive line, and I will be there. And that's what they did. They built around Tom Brady, and that's why they went to the Super Bowl.
What cemented Tom Brady is he understood that he needed people around him to make him better too. And what B says is absolutely so right about football, that you might be Micah Parsons and be making $1 gajillion, but at the end of the day, you're not going to win anything because you got nobody around you. And Brady understood that. And what makes Brady even more a GOAT, that he actually got his butt beaten like crazy in the roast. Oh my goodness gracious me. That roast was Nikki Glazer,
She tore him up real bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, and then I didn't know the story about the ring with the Patriots owner and Vladimir Putin. So if Vladimir's watching us right now, I want to say, Vladimir, give the ring back.
I'm sure he's watching us.
Well, and I think the thing that separates Tom Brady from everyone else is that, like, it was insatiable, right? Like, he wasn't fine with just 1 or 5 or 6. I don't think he's fine with 7, right? Like I think the dude's like, I want more. Like he's a weird kind of like a sociopathic type of person, kind of like Jordan, right? Like where you just make shit up.
He hates the Giants. I mean, he really hates the Giants.
You blame him?
Yeah, they beat him twice.
Yeah,
with Eli Manning
and Peyton Manning coming out and saying, "Yeah, and your greatest kryptonite is my brother Eli." He laughed, but you could see a little bit of hatred in that laugh coming out.
There's a part of me that thinks Tom Brady can like just show up on a roster sometime this year and still throw for like 30 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. He still keeps in shape. Could. He still looks like he could play another 17 game season. Looks like he do that.
What would happen is Jerry Jones will probably trade all those picks to Vegas, bring in Tom Brady, and Tom Brady just shits the bed. Like Dallas makes Tom Brady horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes George Blanda.
Yeah, when you mean talking about being a quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't gonna do that. No. I mean, Dak is fine. Leave Dak alone. Jesus Christ.
I love Dak. I love Dak. I know I'm in the minority here, and it's got to be like the vast minority. I got to be like the 1% of the 1% right here. That's like, this isn't so bad, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, granted, that light is like a fucking freight train that's going to run me over, but at least I see something. It's not just complete darkness. Like I have hope for optimism. I didn't think, and I think that if you're a Cowboys fan and you thought they were going to win the Super Bowl this year, you were lying to yourself, right? Like I don't know what you saw that I didn't see, or what you were drinking that I didn't drink, or what you were smoking that I didn't smoke, but I couldn't see it that way. So
it's all the above. It's all the above.
Just all of
at
the
the same time.
Yeah.
It's a cocktail.
And it's weird that I'm that guy, right? That I'm the one that's like, no, this team has a lot of flaws. They address some of those flaws. They're not going to be a Super Bowl contending team, but they have building blocks. And I think that's all you can ask for. If you're not going to be a team, and you know you're not going to be a team that can win now, like if you're not Philadelphia, if you're not a team like Detroit that has the pieces to be able to do it, then you have to have something that gives your team hope. At least the Cowboys aren't encompassing Cleveland Brown territory, right? Where if you traded Micah Parsons, you would be nothing. They're still going to be a solid team.
Yeah, and Dak Prescott, to me, gets as much flack as Stafford did when he was playing Detroit. And I was always defending Stafford. And I'm telling you, man, Lions fans, you know, half of those fans, well, let me put it this way, 75% of those fans are incorrigible. 25% of them are just plain idiots. You know, it's just, it's like, oh, we got to get rid of Stafford. I said, go ahead and get rid of Stafford. Let him go to another team. He'll win a Super Bowl with that team. Guess what? Got rid of Stafford. He went to win the Super Bowl. I said, you guys are dumb. He's a great quarterback. They didn't build around him. They had one terrific receiver. And I mean, you couldn't F that up if you needed to. Then you throw it to Calvin Johnson. No problem. He's going to out-jump everybody. So it don't make a difference.
Receiver that could run a 440.
Right.
Golf
they didn't have no offensive line. They never really had a good running game. Their defense was good at one point, and then they just they better rest of the time. So I mean, Stafford didn't have anything built around him, and he still won games. So
yeah,
you know, call it what you will. Dak is the same guy. See, Dak is just doing what he's got to do.
No, for me, Dak has always been the wrong quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak to me is like that guy from The Empire Strikes Back behind Luke and Dak. You know, all of a sudden that gun is gonna malfunction on him, and that's what Dak Prescott is. That gun malfunctions at the most precise time for the Cowboys to lose, be it running with the ball with 15 seconds and not getting the snap in time, or something just happens to the Cowboys when Dak is there. I mean, that's the reality, Tip. And I see you going, but
no, I mean, you can blame it. You can blame the slide and stuff like that on Dak. That was the play that was called, right? And if not for the referee just being in the wrong place where he shouldn't have been and taking his time, Dallas would have got that snap off. Like, it was just, it's not ideal, but Dak did what the play said to do. Had they got,
aren't you the one that's saying we can't get back to the pass and change the pass? What ifs don't exist?
Yeah, I'm not saying a what if. I didn't say anything of a what if here. I'm saying simply Dak is doing what Dak's got to do. Dak's the only quarterback in the NFL right now who has had a number one offense twice. The only one. And we're talking about
what have they won?
One of those years, it was Dak throwing to CeeDee Lamb, who we can say is objectively the greatest wide receiver in the NFL, maybe, top three if you're not going to say he's the best. And then Brandon Cooks. Like he was doing this with nobody other than CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. So, like, you can't be like he's a terrible quarterback. He's a really good quarterback, man. It's just the Dallas Cowboys are snake bitten with, like what Strillo was saying earlier. The coaching hasn't been great. And you can blame all that. The arrow's going to point at one guy. It always points at the top. It's got to be Jerry Jones. You stuck with Mike McCarthy too long. You stuck with Jason Garrett for too long. And it just, like, it hasn't worked out for this team. And again, like my thing with the Cowboys is I thought they had a ton of talent on the field. My question with them is going to be the coaching staff. I know you guys are telling me, like, give Eberflus a shot. At the last I saw Eberflus, he got fired on Thanksgiving. The day that you're thankful for everything, you got fired on.
But that's because of him being a head coach. You're looking at it based on the whole scope. If you look at it on defensively, I'm gonna tell you something. When he got fired, right after that, guess where Chicago's defense went? Right down. Detroit scored 34 points on their defense. And that was the team that, if it wasn't for the fact that he messed up as a head coach and didn't call a timeout when he had to, they would have lost that game in Detroit. That's how good that defense was compared to him not being there. So that's all I'm saying is he's a good defensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach. That's all there is to it. Flat out.
All right, guys. Of course, we're going to keep the conversation going. We are up against the clock right now. Strilla, Augustine, I appreciate you all so much for being a part of today's show, letting me vent I think I'm hitting the stage of grief right now. I'm hitting the stage of grief where Micah Parsons is no longer on the Dallas Cowboys, and I've got to buy my kids a couple of new shirts and jerseys because they're not going to wear a Micah Parsons jersey for a player that's not there. So I think that's
and I just got to say the following: I know more about Beastrilla now than I will ever know.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
just a big, beefy, rock hard man.
And
And that's
and
just
happy
a